right, Keegan, here we are, season about to start. We're back at it. But for you, the off season, man, you're getting married. I'm seeing all the pictures on Instagram. Just describe your off season this year.
It was fun. I mean, I got out of here for a little bit. It was the first off season I wasn't in Sacramento, so I experienced something different. I ended up getting married at the end of the summer to cap it off. So it was a good summer. Just getting better on the court, and then obviously ending it with marriage. So.
Tell me about the wedding and leading up to it. Was it frantic? Was it like, or were you just as chill as I see you right now?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't really do much. My wife, she pretty much set up the whole thing, and I was just like the yes man and stuff like that. So,
right.
But she put together a beautiful ceremony, beautiful wedding, and kudos to her for everything. So,
here we are. If I'm correct, this will be your second head coach with Doug, second GM. What's that like, man? Just the change, and finally though, having an off season, knowing who's going to be here, who's running the show.
Yeah, obviously it's different, especially when you clean house in the spring. So just trying to figure out names, especially around the facility, has been a little difficult. But figure out names, figure out people's vibes, things like that. So I feel like it's kind of a fresh start in Sacramento, and I think that's what we've been looking for a little bit.
In terms of Scott and Doug, what's been the message from those guys so far?
Just play hard. I think that's the biggest thing. Play hard, play with aggression. And they want to start a different brand of basketball here in Sacramento than what it's been in the past, and that's just being tough, being hard-nosed, things like that. So I feel like that's kind of the way I play, so I'm excited to build on that.
Everybody talks about your defense, and Mike Brown asked you, do you feel like defensively you're where you need to be, and then offensively you want it to come up to? Like, how do you view your game right now and what you can bring to the table this season?
Yeah, I think the first couple years I was more offensively, and then I started getting the defensive assignments, things like that. So for me, it's just trying to be the best defender in the league, get more deflection, get more steals, things like that. Be a disruptor with Dennis and Keon and those guys. And offensively, it's just implementing myself in the offense more, being more aggressive, being more assertive, and those are things that I took away from last season that I wasn't really myself. So I'm excited to get back to it this year.
You brought up Dennis. What does he bring to the table?
Just a point guard that picks up full court, a point guard that is able to set up our offense, keep us organized and things like that. So I think it'll be fun with him picking up full court and trying to disrupt the other team.
You talked about your offense a little bit. Rookie season, knocked down hundreds of threes,
Yeah.
When you look at your offense, what areas are you hoping to make that leap this season?
I think that just the creativity aspect of it. I feel like last year, just looking back, it was a lot of straight line drives, a lot of catch and shoot, things like that. And obviously, it was a little different than it was my first 2 years. So for me, it was just gathering that confidence back, that rhythm back that I was lacking last year. And I found it early on this summer, so I'm just excited to get back on the court and have a better season this year on that side of the ball.
Let me ask you this, and I'll keep it real with you. It seems like every year a new piece is added. DeMar, now Dennis. How does that impact you, and how do you try and fit in with some new pieces coming in?
Yeah, I think just trying to find a mesh with those guys is something that we've been looking for as a team. So if we can find that even ground, that common ground as a team with our new additions, the quicker in the season, the better the season we'll have. So we got to find that early on, and if we find that, I feel like we have a good chance of doing good things this year.
I talked about getting married earlier this year, and you said, we've been living together 3 years. Is there anything that's different though once you throw the ring on and walk down the aisle? Is there anything different now, do you think?
I mean, obviously you start talking about life and things like that, but it's been fun. I think obviously the ring on the finger is a little weird, but a little weird at first. But I feel like it just kind of makes you mature a little bit as a person. But for us, it's just been fun the last 3 weeks, and we're excited for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I tell people you guys won 40 games last season. Coaching change, De'Aaron gone, so much. How much do you think stability will help this team this season?
Yeah, it's big. When you look at like all the good teams that that make it to the playoffs, things like that. They don't really change much within their roster in that season. So, and they find themselves really fast. So for us, it's finding that fluidity, especially in the offensive side of the ball. And then I feel like if we find that, we'll have a good season. And every year I've won 40 games, and the West is tough this year, and probably got to win 50 to get in the playoffs. So
I was going to ask you about the West, man. When you do you look at the West, or is it all about what Sacramento does, you think?
For us right now is finding that culture that we want to implement, especially with Doug as our new head coach, just building on what he wants to bring to the table. Having teams come into Sacramento and know that they're going to be in a fight, that's the biggest thing. So I think if we all go all in on what Doug's preaching, I think the culture will change and good things will happen in Sacramento.
Any team bonding activities at all this summer? Did you guys do anything this summer?
We didn't do much. I know we're doing something during training camp with everyone. So I think I feel like everyone's been here for the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
So it's been good to have. It's the first time everyone's been back that early since
Really?
I've been here. So it's been good, and everyone's been on the court too. So good things so far.
Yeah. Keegan, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, my man.
Yep. Appreciate you.